In the dim glow of a flickering screen, Alex Thompson's hands froze over the keyboard. He was just a single dad trying to make ends meet, fixing a high-powered CO's computer in her lavish penthouse office after hours. But what he stumbled upon wasn't a virus or a corrupted file. It was a photo, a single, haunting image that peeled back the layers of a life he thought he'd buried forever. And when she walked in and saw his face, what she asked next shattered every wall between them, leaving him utterly speechless. Hey everyone, if this story hooks you right from the start like it did me, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more heart-pounding tales that blend emotion, surprise, and a touch of the unexpected. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's dive in. Alex had always been the quiet type, the kind of man who fixed things because the world had broken him first. At 38, he was raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, alone in a cramped apartment on the outskirts of the city. His wife, Sarah, had passed away 3 years ago in a car accident that still haunted his dreams. Twisted metal, flashing lights, and the empty space beside him in bed every night. By day, he worked as an IT technician for a small repair shop, patching up laptops and desktops for folks who barely noticed him. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills barely. Lily's laughter was his anchor, her wide-eyed curiosity about the world a reminder that life could still hold magic, even if his own felt like a faded photograph. That fateful evening started like any other gig. The call came in late, urgent, from the executive assistant of Elena Voss, the CEO of Voss Tech, a powerhouse in software development that dominated the skyline with its glass tower. Voss's personal computer crashed during a critical presentation prep, the assistant had said, her voice clipped and efficient. She needs it fixed tonight. Can you come? Alex glanced at the clock. 8 p.m. Lily was already tucked in with the babysitter, a kind neighbor who charged by the hour. He needed the overtime pay, so he grabbed his toolkit and headed downtown, the city lights blurring past his old pickup truck like distant stars. Elena's penthouse office was a world apart from his reality. Sleek marble floors, floor to ceiling windows overlooking the glittering metropolis, and art pieces that probably cost more than his annual salary. She wasn't there when he arrived. The assistant let him in and pointed to the sleek desktop on her massive oak desk. Fix it quickly, she said. Voss is in a meeting but will be back soon. Alex nodded, settling into the leather chair that smelled faintly of expensive perfume. Something floral and intoxicating, like jasmine mixed with ambition. The issue was straightforward, a corrupted hard drive sector causing boot failures. He booted into safe mode, ran diagnostics, and started recovering files. As the progress bar ticked along, he minimized windows to check for any open applications that might be hogging resources. That's when it happened, accidentally, innocently. A folder popped open in the background, labeled Personal. He meant to close it, but his cursor hovered, and there it was, a photo. Not just any photo. It was Elena, but not the polished CO version the world knew. This was her in a candid moment, years ago perhaps, lounging on a beach at sunset. She wore a simple bikini that hugged her curves, her dark hair tousled by the wind, a genuine smile lighting up her face as she gazed at the camera with eyes full of vulnerability and desire. But it wasn't the sensuality that stopped him cold. It was the tattoo peeking from her hip, a delicate infinity symbol intertwined with a date. The same date Sarah had on her wrist, the date of their wedding anniversary. No, that couldn't be. His heart pounded. He zoomed in, breath-catching. The background, that beach, it looked exactly like the one where he and Sarah had honeymooned. And then, the realization hit like a thunderbolt. The woman in the photo wasn't just Elena. She bore an uncanny resemblance to Sarah in her youth, but with a fire that Sarah had lost in her final years. Was this a coincidence? Or something more? He quickly closed the folder, guilt washing over him. He wasn't a snoop, he was just a repair guy. But the image lingered, stirring emotions he hadn't felt in years. Longing, confusion, and an unwelcome spark of attraction. Elena Voss was a legend, 35, fiercely independent, built her empire from nothing after a rough upbringing in foster care. Tabloids painted her as ice cold, a woman who crushed competitors and dated casually, never committing. But that photo revealed a softer side, a woman who craved connection beneath the armor. The door clicked open, and there she was, Elena, striding in like she owned the night. Tall, with sharp features softened by fatigue. She wore a tailored black dress that accentuated her athletic build, heels clicking authoritatively. she asked, her voice smooth but edged with stress. Alex stood abruptly, knocking over a pen holder. Almost done, ma'am. Just a few more minutes. She nodded, pouring herself a glass of scotch from a sidebar, her movements graceful yet tense. As she sipped, she glanced at the screen, and her eyes narrowed. You saw it, didn't you? She said quietly, not accusing but knowing. Alex's face flushed. I'm sorry. It was an accident. The folder opened while I was. She waved him off, setting the glass down with a soft clink. It's fine. Most people don't get that far into my system. She leaned against the desk, crossing her arms, her presence commanding yet oddly intimate in the quiet room. Up close, she was even more striking. Emerald eyes that seemed to pierce through him, full lips curved in a half smile. That photo, it's from a time when I thought I had it all figured out. Before the boardrooms and the betrayals. Her voice dropped, laced with a vulnerability that matched the image. Alex swallowed, unsure how to respond. Looked peaceful. He managed his mind racing. They talked then, unexpectedly. Maybe it was the late hour or the scotch loosening her guard, but Elena opened up. She spoke of her climb to the top, orphan at 12, scraping by with odd jobs, coding her way through college on scholarships. Success is lonely, she admitted, her gaze drifting to the city lights. Everyone wants something from you. No one sees the real me. Alex nodded, sharing his own scars. The accident, Lily's bedtime stories about her mom, the endless worry about providing. Being a single dad, it's like fixing a machine that's always breaking, he said with a wry smile. For the first time in years, he felt seen, not just as a widower or a technician, but as a man. As the computer hummed back to life, fully repaired, Elena turned to him, her expression shifting from reflective to something bolder, more intense. Alex, she said, her voice a husky whisper that sent a shiver down his spine. I don't do this often, but would you stay for dinner? Or more? He stared speechless. This powerhouse of a woman with her empire and her secrets was asking him, a nobody, to cross that line. The air thickened with unspoken tension, her perfume mingling with the scent of possibility. He thought of Lily, of Sarah's memory, but also of the emptiness he'd carried too long. Yes, he whispered finally, his voice breaking the silence like thunder. What followed was a whirlwind that neither expected. Dinner turned into deep conversation, laughter echoing in her empty penthouse. Elena's touch was electric, her hand brushing his as she poured wine, her leg grazing his under the table. She was confident, sensual, drawing him in with stories of her travels, her body leaning closer with each word. Alex felt alive, his fingers tracing the curve of her arm tentatively at first. Then with growing hunger, they kissed on the balcony, the city sprawled below like a canvas of forgotten dreams. Her lips were soft yet demanding, tasting of scotch and desire. I've been so alone, she murmured against his neck, her hands exploring the muscles honed from years of manual work. He pulled her closer, their bodies pressing together in a dance of rediscovery. The night unfolded in her bedroom, sheets tangled in passion, slow at first, emotional, as if healing old wounds. Elena's moans were a symphony of release, her nails digging into his back as they moved together, sweat slicked and fervent. It was more than physical, it was a connection, raw and real, her vulnerability matching his own. But dawn brought reality crashing in. Alex woke to Elena's assistant buzzing the intercom. Urgent board meeting. He dressed quietly, guilt gnawing at him. Was this a one-night stand for her, a distraction? Lily needed him home. As he gathered his tools, Elena emerged from the shower, wrapped in a silk robe that clung to her damp skin, accentuating every curve. Last night was incredible, she said, her eyes searching his. But I sense you're pulling away. He confessed his fears. The single dad life, the ghost of Sarah, the class divide between them. I'm just a guy who fixes things. You're you. Tears welled in her eyes, a rare crack in her fat head. You think I don't have fears? That photo you saw, it's from the day I lost my only real love, a man who left because he couldn't handle my ambition. I've built walls, Alex. But you see through them. The challenge was clear. Could he let go of the past? Could she lower her guards? Their relationship bloomed amid obstacles. First, the secrecy. Elena's world was scrutinized by media and Alex worried about Lily's stability. Paparazzi snapped photos of them at a discreet dinner, sparking rumors. CEO dates blue-collar hero. The headlines screamed. Elena faced board pressure, investors questioned her focus. Alex dealt with judgmental friends. She's using you, man. But they fought through dates stolen in hidden cafes, where Elena's laughter peeled away her CEO mask, revealing a woman who loved bad puns and midnight ice cream runs. The biggest hurdle came with Lily. Alex introduced them cautiously at a park picnic. Elena, nervous in jeans and a ponytail, brought a tech gadget, a kid's coding kit. Lily's eyes lit up. "You're like a superhero, lady!" she exclaimed. But later, Lily confided, "Daddy, is she gonna be my new mommy?" Tears followed, memories of Sarah surfacing. Elena knelt, hugging her. "I'm not replacing anyone, sweetie, but I'd love to be your friend." It was a turning point, emotional, raw. Alex watched, heart swelling, as they bonded over stories and games. Professionally, Elena offered Alex a job at Vostech, not charity but recognition of his skills. "Led our IT innovation team," she said. He hesitated, fearing favoritism, but accepted, proving himself with a breakthrough fix that saved a major project. Challenges mounted. A jealous ex-colleague leaked details of their romance, causing a PR storm. Elena stood firm at a press conference, declaring, "Love doesn't weaken ambition, it fuels it." Alex supported her, his quiet strength her rock. Intimacy deepened their bond. Nights were passionate. Elena's penthouse became their sanctuary. She'd tease him with lingerie that left little to the imagination, her body a canvas of desire. "Touch me like you mean it," she'd whisper, guiding his hands over her breasts, her hips grinding against him in rhythmic urgency. Alex, once reserved, unleashed his pent-up longing, kissing every inch of her, from the sensitive spot behind her ear to the curve of her thighs. Their lovemaking was intense, sometimes urgent against the kitchen counter, other times slow and tender by the fireplace, bodies entwined in ecstasy. "You're my everything," he'd groan as she climaxed, her cries echoing his release. It was sexy, yes, but rooted in emotion. The way she traced his scars, whispering affirmations, healing him as he did her. Resolution came in waves. They navigated co-parenting, with Elena stepping up during Lily's school play when Alex was stuck at work. A family vacation to that same beach from the photo sealed it. Waves crashing as they built sandcastles, Elena's hand in his, Lily giggling between them. Elena said under the stars, her voice steady. Alex, no longer speechless, replied, "And you, forever." In the end, their story wasn't just about romance, it was about second chances. Alex learned to embrace joy without guilt, Elena to trust without fear. They married quietly, blending worlds, his simplicity grounding her empire. Lily thrived, calling Elena Mame, with affection, the inspiring message. Life's glitches can lead to unexpected upgrades. No matter how broken you feel, love can reboot your heart. If this tale touched you, hit like, subscribe, and share your own stories in the comments. Who knows? Your fix might be just a photo away.